In the last episode, we learned about the major events during the life of the Prophet from 570 when he was born to his demise in 632. After him, Abu Bakr became the Caliph in the year 632. His tenure was not more than 2 years. In 634 he died, but what he did for Islam is nothing short of. Many of the tribes, knowing that the Prophet passed away, became murtad. Murtad is someone who reverted back to the old religion, and many tribes were not agreeing to give the zakat. They were entitled to give. In 633, Abu Bakr conducts campaign against Eastern Arabs to ensure their compliance with zakat. He used to say that if a person was giving a needle in zakat during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and is abstaining from it now, I will fight with him till my last breath. Now many of the Sahabas, including Umar ibn Al radiallahu anhu, were of the opinion that we should not fight Munkarin zakat, as they were called at that time, because of so much turbulence on all its borders. Now there were murtads, there were false prophets, then we were fighting with Byzantines, but Abu Bakr haven't stepped back. He curbed the fitna in the very bud. Now among the false prophets, which I have just spoken, the most famous one, the notable one, because of the army which he have gathered, was Musailimah al-Kazzab. Kazzab in Arabic means liar. So Musailimah, the liar. The great Battle of Yamama was fought against Musailimah in the year 633. Though we defeated him, many of the Huffaz, the one who by-hearted the Quran, died during that battle. So a fear grew among the Sahaba that the knowledge of Quran will be lost if we do not preserve it by writing it, by making a book of it, a Mushaf of it. Among the proponents of this idea was Umar ibn Al Aas himself. At first, Abu Bakr Siddiqi radiallahu anhu was hesitating to do it, as it was something not done during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just look at the level of his iman. But then Allah showed him the right guidance, and in 633 he authorizes the preparation of a written copy of Quran, which is called Mushaf as-Siddiqi. In the very next year, in 634, Muslim armies defeated the Byzantines at the Battle of Ajnadyn. Ajnadyn is a place in today's present-day Israel. It was fought something between July or August. Now it is not the decisive battle against the Byzantines were the Yarmouk, but it was a moral boost to the Muslims. Now you can think of a country in today's time like Syria or Yemen defeating America. It was such a kind of a boost for the Muslims. After the very battle, Abu Bakr died a natural death at the age of 63. After him, the Caliphate went into the hands of Hazrat Umar ibn Al Aas. Now the very first thing, Umar ibn Al Aas, the new Khalifa, what he authorizes was a campaign against Eastern Roman and Persian Empire. Now it is now building up for the new two very big battles which we will be seeing. The same year, in 635, Muslims captured Damascus. Now after losing the Battle of Ajnadyn, which was in Israel, the center of Byzantine, the center of Byzantine moved to Damascus in Syria. Now Muslims captured Damascus, but not whole of Syria. Then in 636, it was the time that the prophecy which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam prophesied was going to be fulfilled. On a number of occasions, he have said, or he have told to his companion. On one occasion, I remember he said to his companion that how is it that you will be wearing the ornaments of Khusro? Now it was a strange thing for the Sahaba, and it was the time when he was going on a hijrah to Medina. So it was that strange that Muslims will be defeating the superpower in some time near future. And on another occasion he said that Khusro and Caesar will be defeated. Then there will be no Khusro or Caesar again. In 636, the year when the great battles happened, first we will talk about the Battle of Qadasia, which was against the Persians. It was a decisive battle between the Arab army and the army of the Sassanids. It was somewhat fought in mid-November at Qadasia in present-day Iraq. It was a decisive Rashidun victory. Very able commanders was there on both sides. On the Rashidun side, we had Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, who is one among the Ashra Mubashira, the 10 who were given the great tidings of paradise in a single sitting. And on the Sassanidian side, it was Rustam Farrukhzad, who was very able commander, but he died in action. The battle was a key to Muslims against conquering Asuristan. Asuristan is Iraq, present-day Iraq, and followed later by battles of Jalula and Nahawan, where in Nahawan we dismantled the Persian kingdom once and all. Then there was also a decisive battle between Arabs and Byzantines, known as the Battle of Yarmouk. It was Khalid Ibn Walid radiallahu anhu greatest military victory, and he got the reputation of greatest tacticians and cavalry commander in history. The battle was fought in the month of August near river Yarmouk, which is now at the border of Syria, Jordan and Syria, Israel. The Byzantine lost all of Syria in this battle. After this battle, Jerusalem came in the hands of Muslims. The siege for the city of Jerusalem lasted 4 months, after which the city agreed to surrender, but on the condition that Umar ibn al-Khattab, the Khalifa, will come himself to take the keys. Umar ibn al-Khattab traveled from Medina to Jerusalem to take the keys. Freedom of worship was guaranteed to Christians. It was the very first time Jerusalem came in the hands of Muslims. Now here I would like to tell you about Khalid ibn Walid. He was given the title Saifullah by the Prophet himself. Saifullah means the sword of Allah, and he never lost the battle. Once he fought against Muslim in the Battle of Uhud, that too he won, and all the battles he fought on the Muslim side he won. Subhanallah. Inshallah, if Allah permits, we will do an episode on him in next season or something. Now 636, the year, we will do a brief revision. In the month of August, we fought the Battle of Yarmouk with the Byzantines. And in the month of November, we fought the Battle of Qadasia against the Persians, and Jerusalem came in our hand. Now in 637, the Muslims captured Madayn, the capital of Persian Empire. In 640, Amr ibn Al Aas begins his campaign in Egypt. And in 641, Arab armies advanced to Khorasan, which is present-day Iran, to Afghanistan and to the borders of Sindh. Now Muslim influence came to the borders of Indian subcontinent. In 642, Egypt was conquered by Amr ibn Al Aas radiallahu anhu. It was more of a diplomatic conquest. Now Amr ibn Al Aas was one of the best diplomats we in the Muslim world have ever known. He was very good diplomat concerning his foreign ties, his diplomatic relations with other countries. Now, after the conquest of Egypt, the Rashidun Caliphate extended from Egypt in west to the borders of Sindh and Afghanistan in east, Damascus in north, and Yemen in south. Now it was going to be the huge or the biggest empire the humankind have ever seen. So in 642, the Khalifa, the Caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, streamlined the administration. He appointed governors and chief justice of various provinces. Now, Umar ibn al-Khattab was one among the chief justice, and the second most chief justice was the chief justice of Medina, Ali ibn Abu Talib radiallahu anhu. Now their judicial ruling became the basis of science of fiqh. The various school of fiqh which we see now, the Maliki, the Hanbali, the Hanafi, the Shafi'i school, all are based on the judicial rulings of Umar and Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhum. In 642, Persian armies were defeated at the Battle of Nahawan, the last of the battle against the Persian army. In 643, first time Masjid al-Aqsa was constructed in Jerusalem. Now this is the point of tension between the Jews, the Christians and Muslims to till that. A point of tension, a point of discussion, a point of debate, all of it. Now in 644, Muslims lost one of its able administrator, its ruler, Umar ibn Al Khattab. He was assassinated. Now he is one of the best rulers the humankind have ever seen, the best administrator humankind have ever seen. Usman became the next caliph. Now his period, Usman ibn Affan anhu's period, will see the rise of fitna, the rise of civil war, which will extend to the tenure of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Inshallah, we will cover that in the next episode. Jazakallahu khair.